Finally, the bonus chapter we've all been waiting for is here, and I'm pretty sure it's not what most of us expected. Specifically when it comes to the art style, as it seems Mango didn't draw the bonus pages. The art looks pretty simplistic and more like sketches, but I wouldn't call it bad. Just strange that they didn't just draw all the panels in detail. There are also some extra pages at the start of the final volume with one long quote. It's not part of the special chapter, but it does count for 6 of the 24 bonus pages we got. Since it's at the start of the volume, I'll go over those extra pages first before getting into the new chapter. I couldn't find any official translation for the chapter at the time of recording this, so I'm just going to be using the one Donut put out. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the title page of the volume actually has an image of Ruby turning, which just so happens to look near identical to the logo for Oshi No Ko. While we don't get to learn the meaning behind those brackets, we at least got confirmation about whose eyes that is. I just thought it was interesting to point out. As for the extra pages, it's a quote from Ruby, which begins with her saying she's a star. However, that's just another lie she said today, probably to herself. In reality, people know they're not actually stars. Idols like her can only shine for a few years, and we get a look at Strawberry Productions in one of the panels here. As time goes by, their existence will begin to fade from everyone's memories too. Someone had said that stars shine the brightest in the dark night sky, probably another way to say that a star can illuminate someone in a dark place. Kinda like what we saw Ruby do in the last chapter to one of her fans. Or like how I was Serena's star back then, when she was stuck in the hospital. I shined so brightly for Serena during those dark times. However, after seeing how they have no choice but to shine on Earth, Ruby questions if they can shine brighter than the billions of LEDs that light up the city. On the shining planet called Earth, Ruby wants to know if the light reaches a certain someone, most likely Aqua. Then the last special page, we see an image of Ruby reaching up to the stars in the night sky. Today she reached out her hand too, yet still couldn't reach the stars. It is pretty poetic, and I think it symbolizes how Ruby is separated from Aqua and can't reach him in this life, no matter how bright she shines. It's also a subtle reference to a certain frame in the first opening, of Ruby reaching for a star. Little did we know that star may have been Aqua instead of I. Definitely a symbolic opening to the final volume as well. Now I can finally talk about the special chapter we got. Apparently, it's a video made by Mem-cho, which starts with her introducing herself as the producer of Bikomachi. In case any of you are done, this is the finale bonus chapter because of the art, we do get confirmation of that here too. The next page continues with Mem-cho saying how everyone wanted her to stay an idol forever. To be honest, I did think she would stay with Bikomachi for quite a bit at least, but it seems at this point, Mem-cho has graduated from the group too, as she says things can't stay the same forever, especially with the group's current color. Mem-cho has essentially become someone who supports Bikomachi alongside everyone else in their fanbase. She says it's not just about her though, and starts yapping about how in today's society, where all kinds of content are consumed at an incredibly fast pace, their very existence is being swept away by the wave of turnover and fades into oblivion. I guess what she's trying to say is that with content being consumed at such a fast rate, people are quick to move on to the next big thing, leaving even popular idols behind. Slowly but surely, they become someone people bring up when they talk about the past. Like back in the day, how I used to be the most popular idol or something. There's no such thing as eternity, like how an idol can't remain in the spotlight forever. However, you can still support them. On this page, we also get a brief look at Kana and Akane's careers, and how they're doing currently. Starting with Kana, we learned that in her most recent movie, Mushroom, she delivered an outstanding performance worthy of her title as a genius actress. Apparently it was a Hollywood film too, which shows how far Kana has come, and they even label it as her second biggest breakthrough since her child acting days, which is huge for her career. On the other hand, Akane explains what she's been up to through an interview. She's began to realize that trying to imitate others is not the answer, as it's important to establish her own identity. Akane has also started to understand that depending on others is not the right way to go. Basically, Akane is on a journey of self-discovery at the moment, and more recently, she's really gotten into the occult. To Akane, she even laughs saying how this world feels like something out of the occult. By allowing such thoughts, she feels like new perspectives and insights come into view. This might not sound that important, but this ties in very well to the epilogue of the Akane and Kana novel. Not gonna spoil it, but the occult is pretty relevant when it comes to Akane and a certain other girl. I'm at least glad they managed to have the novel and this bonus chapter connected in some way. Cutting back to Mem-cho, she questions why she also feels happy when her Oshi laughs. They're basically a complete stranger with no connection to her, yet Mem-cho can feel that way. Although I wonder if she's talking from her perspective or that of others. Like questioning why people can share those emotions with someone they have no connection with. In the image you can also see a picture of Minami and one of Peon on the right too. One of the comments even questions this behavior, feeling like that type of support is just a one-sided, distorted relationship. They don't understand what's good about it, but Mem-cho answers by saying she believes supporting her Oshi is love. Mem-cho says that she wants to love someone, which does remind me of Ai, and like Mem says, humans are unfortunately burdened with such troublesome emotions. And like we know, Ai's personal pursuit of love played a major role in her death. Here we also get a look at Frill's current activities. Well, it's her retirement work apparently, which is also directed by Gotanda. It's probably the movie we saw Gotanda starting to work on at the end of chapter 166. This one's about depicting the lives of those who are dying and the ones left behind. A pretty direct reference to Akane and Ai dying and leaving the others behind. It did end up winning the Japan Screen Directors Award too. Melt also began getting recognition too after 2 major breakthroughs with his performances. He even won a newcomer award for another film he did, leading to international popularity across Asia. It's kinda crazy how Melt evolved from being clowned on for his acting to where he's at now. Akane really changed this man. As Mem-cho continues yapping about how everyone is alone and it's hard to find love, we see Yuriko started a new weekly manga too. With the weekly pressure, Yuriko is indeed nervous, and there's even a funny part where she says she won't let Abiko do it for her. Nice to see the author duo wasn't forgotten. Then we get some other random commenting about humanity being trash, while Mem-cho explains that the person she finally found to love can be called her Oshi. Then she says they're also ordinary humans too, which is kinda a callback to Ai being called an ordinary girl. Fortunately, we get to see Taiki, or at least a post from him, where he said he thought about dying before remembering he still had a family member left. I'm glad he remembered Ruby, but it's also sad that they barely interacted in the first place, to the point he forgot about his own sister. Then again, bro looks like he can't even remember to charge his phone either. As Mem-cho says here, she can't become perfect, and we get some insight on Strawberry Productions. They're praised now for being the first to establish social media response teams and teams dedicated to countering defamation, and even created their own SNS policy. Ensuring the safety of their talent is their top priority, especially after the deaths of Aqua and Ai. It seems like Miyako has remained the head of the company too, with Ichigo in the background still working as a maid. Poor guy. Then we see another comment here, this stating the obvious how the world is full of liars. I can't even deny that when one of the main themes of the story was lying. Apparently Frill is also trended #1 in Japan, followed by someone being married. I'm not sure if it's referring to Frill being married though. Next time we see Mem-cho is interestingly through someone else's laptop, as she says she really wants her viewers to be happy. Almost like she's talking to the person watching on the laptop. Someone comments saying how people aren't just made out of lies, and another person replies wondering if that's true. However, that's sort of the life Ruby is living, as we see her in the video while Mem-cho says everyone is desperately living today too. Everyone is actually alone while getting torn up and hurt. Yet, Mem-cho still wishes to love them in the same world, which probably echoes the love Ruby is trying to spread through her performances. Mem-cho believes that there is still love in the world, and we got one last look at Kana, Akane, Taiki, and Miyako, shouting orders or something at Ichigo. Then Mem-cho says her final words, waving to the camera, wishing for happiness for the viewer and their Oshi. Finally, the bonus chapter just ends with the title drop of Oshi No Ko, which also seems to be the title of Mem-cho's stream. I mean, I guess that's a cool reveal. I've been trying to remain optimistic, but damn, I don't even know what Akane is cooking here. There was like no added value to the story from this chapter, besides learning what happened to some of the other characters. I also don't think Mem-cho being the one narrating helped, or at least the way it was done just felt off. It sounded like she was trying to give some sort of inspirational speech by channeling the spirit of Ai and some other characters. Like when she says she wants to love someone, and that she isn't perfect. That fits Ai pretty well. Same with the ordinary girl line. It sounded like Akane was trying to speak all the themes of the story through Mem-cho one last time, to give some form of hope or inspiration. But it just fell flat in my opinion, with all the depressing talk about love surrounding it. I don't know who hurt Akane, but hopefully bro is alright after writing this. Not having Ruby play a prominent role in this chapter was a missed opportunity too in my opinion. Thankfully while this bonus chapter wasn't the best, we still got the Akane and Kana novel to look forward to. At least the epilogue, cause there is some sequel bait in there. I'll try to cover it when a good translation comes out, but for now, what did y'all think of this chapter? Should we have seen more of Ruby? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. I got some more Oshi No Ko content here too that you can check out. Peace.